I had my hot water boiling, and then I forgot to grab it, so I had to run back out and grab it. Anyway, I got some other Sunman figures here to kind of compare them. I don't have all their accessories; they're all kind of thrown into the vat. But let's go ahead. Let's see. That character is supposed to be Native American. That's what I'm guessing too. I'm thinking maybe like an Aztec-looking Native type American or something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and put this He-Man figure back together. I'm going to use the Revelation armor just because we saw in the book that this was actually a design they were going to use at one time on He-Man way before Revelation. So I figured, what the heck. This He-Man needs some armor anyway. I figured I'd just toss it on him for now because I had it sitting here on the table, and I got to stick his head back on too. And then he will open up this cool figure and check him all out and compare him with the other figures in the Sunman subline of Origins. You know what? I think these Origins figures are really cool. I actually like them way better than Masterverse, to tell you the truth. And some of the Masterverse are pretty cool, and I want to use some of the parts for my classics. But if I was going to collect a figure line complete, it would probably be Origins instead of the new Masterverse. I know people ask me that question all the time, and I've been thinking about it. It's like, yeah, the Origins line is just so much like what we played with as kids. It's kind of cool. So there we go. And it is always fun to take the parts from Masterverse to use them for our Origins. Like, I just snagged that armor, threw it on him, and it doesn't look half bad. I mean, granted, the symbol's upside down, but I can live with that. All right, let's go and toss him aside, because we are here today to talk about Boltman. Ba-boom. Hey, TrapDraw72, thanks for joining me. Pop Actor, thanks for being here. Delaxorian, thanks for being here. Mike Fee, thanks for being here. James, thanks for being here. Jason, thanks for being here, man. And Randy, thanks for joining us as well. Let's see, Andrew was here. Randy said he's chilling in bed. And Andrew says, what's up? Well, what is up is I have some cool figures from the... I got a Big Bad Toy Store all at once. And I really wanted to open the Sunman figure first. I know we got some cool Snake guys, and we got Snake Armor He-Man and everything else, but for some reason, this is the one that I gravitated towards the most and wanted to open first, and actually most excited about. Which I know probably sounds kind of weird because he's not even a real, original He-Man figure from the past. But you guys know, I was always a fan of Sunman for a long time. Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate that. Hey, Masterverse Toy Hunter. Let's see. You should come with a boombox. Oh, good stuff. All right. So, first of all, we got the new card backing with the snake on top. Which, I'm okay with them using the snake on top for, battle armor or a snake armor He-Man and Ratlore and all the others. But for the Sunman figure, I mean, I know it's the same wave, but I kind of wish they would not have done that for the Sunman figure. Now, I'm not going to keep any of these men on the box, which in retrospect, maybe I should have kept the Sunman figures men in the box, but that's okay. It's just because he's not a Snake Man figure. There's nothing Snake about him. He's just released in that same time frame with these other three figures, which are Snake Men related. All right, so let's take a look at the cool box art, and it is cool. And it tells you there's a comic included in all kinds of languages there, and he is fighting Cobra Khan. Cobra Khan! Let's see. Jamie says, hey, Rick. Nice to meet you, Jamie. Hey, Jamie, thanks for being here. All right, and you can see they show you can put the bolts in his hand and put them over his head like he's going to throw them at people. So I imagine they're almost like boomerangs that he hucks at people. That's all I can guess the way he's, well, maybe not. Maybe he throws them like knives. It's just the way he had him here, like he was going to throw them in an arc. But I guess it's because that's what the figure can do. But in this picture here, you can see he's throwing them straight. like throwing daggers or something, or throwing knives. All right, let's go ahead and bust this guy out. So again, I'm not sure what nationality they're going for. Obviously some sort of Indian type nationality, but I'm thinking it's more the Aztec Indian nationality, but it could be Native American. I'm not totally sure. I'm just really glad to see lots more figures in the line that are different colors and different types and different looks to them. I think it's kind of cool. When my kids were little, I used to buy them as many different nationality toys as we could. You know, when it came to Barbie and action figures and everything else. And it's really easy to find action figures that were black or white, but it's very hard to find figures that were Hispanic. We found a couple though. I think Teresa was from Barbie and a couple others, but for boy action figures, it was a lot harder to find other figures that were beyond that. And trying to find Native American figures was like next to impossible. I think we eventually got Pocahontas for my daughter, but as far as trying to find them for boys' toys, it was actually pretty difficult. So it's cool to see that Yael Easton actually made all this cool stuff like this for her son and for other kids that would match, so they can have heroes that look like them, but also for those that are not, to get used to seeing heroes of all different shades and types and nationalities. So I applaud her for what she did back in the day, and it's cool that it's actually translated all the way forward to today. So that's kind of cool. All right, so here is Boltman, and the comic actually shows Boltman right in the front, so that's cool. He's the front and center guy, and I kind of wish they would show or talk about what his powers are so we would know. Oh, look at that. He's actually shooting lightning bolts from his hand. Kaboom! Wow, that's cool. So he does have some sort of powers, not just the bolts on his back. So that's pretty cool. Does he ever throw the bolts on his back in this comic, or does it just stay on his back? It looks like the ones on his back just stay there, almost like decorative, while he's shooting bolts out. So I'm not sure how that toy is supposed to work. All right, let's go and talk about the figure and the breakdown of it, and then I'll get back to your guys' comments because I don't have my iPad in here with me. It stinks. I didn't grab that. I was going to show you guys the site. On the description, I have a site. It's from my old Sunman site, and it's in the description. It's called Hebrews Old Sunman site, and it has pictures of the original figures from the card back, and I think I showed up on this site before, so you guys can look at it. Anyway, so you can see he has ankle articulation, boot cut, knee bend. He has a thigh movement, waist, shoulder, no bicep cut, elbow, and then the wrist and his head. So there you go. His armor is just literally stuck over the top of him, and it's very reminiscent of the way Sunman's armor fits on as well. So there's no straps. It's just literally a plastic hunk that goes up over the top of his head. I'm not going to pull his head off right now because it's tight. I'll have to heat it up before I pull his armor off. All right, so as you guys know, I've tried to make some of my own different figures. Like here's one right here from Classics. And of course he hangs out with Rio Blast. And he was basically made from a Apache Chief. And believe it or not, Apache Chief's skin tone matched that of Filmation He-Man. So this is actually a Filmation He-Man body that I used. And so there's Filmation He-Man body mixed with Apache Chief. So there you go. And I used the Super 7 body. Originally, I did it with the Mattel body, but I decided to rebuild the Mattel body and remake him with the Super 7. So there is my Apache Chief, and of course he's a lot taller than Origins. There we go. Let me go and set Apache Chief aside. I forgot what I call him though when I was doing the other videos. I'll have to go back and look and see what I actually named him. I don't think I usually called him Apache Chief, but maybe I did because of the DC comic connection. See, Pop Actresses, you'll probably buy him anyway. Oh, let's see. Yes, Rick, not a fan of Rio Blast. Oh, come on, Mike. You got to be a fan of Rio Blast, man. Rio Blast. At one time, I wasn't either. And then I slowly became a fan as I made more and more customs. So much so that I actually bought the playset from uh, Marshall Bravestar just for Rio Blast. So, and I got all my Rio Blast stuff sitting over here waiting to go back on this table eventually. See? There he is. That's Rio Blast before he got his bionics, or what do you want to call it? All his weaponry. But I am excited to get my Rio Blast stuff all set back up. Ugh. Oh, stop stepping on people. All right, let's get back to Boltman. That's what we're here for. See, I get sidetracked just so easy. All right. See, I'd make a great substitute teacher for high school. Let's get him sidetracked. Pop Actress said, I'll put Rio Blast on Stridor. Nice. James said he bought an extra Sunman to customize his wings. Rio Blast is Chuck Norris. Oh, yeah. Never had a Rio Blast. Hope they origins him. That would be cool. I was a Brave Star man. See, if you're a Brave Star man, get yourself a Rio Blast. He was the precursor to Brave Star. Wow, let's see. Trap Jocelyn at 2 says Brave Star was based on Native American plus G.I. Joe spirit. That is cool. Yeah, Brave Star is, yeah, it is cool about Brave Star. I got a Brave Star on the shelf over there. Yeah, but decent 30-30 would be cool. We have our villains. There he is. Da-da! Da-da-da-da! I think someone said, was Space Sumo supposed to be a villain too? I don't remember, but definitely Pighead is. And of course, as he, uses drugs to influence the good guys, eventually he can taint them. Oh, and that failed. Oh no, it's lightning blast time. Oh, and he reaches for his bolt of lightning. Ha! And he tosses it. Zappo. Ah! And he's been zappified. And now only has one bolt left, but luckily there's only one bad guy. Hooray! Sunman comes in and says, hey, you're doing my union job. Anyway. Hordak took away the spotlight from Skeletor. That's funny, Pop Actor. And that's why Skeletor is even more jealous and more angry. Because Hordak tried to move in on his turf. All right, let's check out some other figures in the line so we can do a comparison. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Sunman's cool, and it had its place before. But one thing that I think Mattel should do differently is, even though Sunman in the past all used the exact same bodies all the way down the line, except for one figure, which was this guy here. And even did a bunch of head swaps too, where we saw Sunman with multiple heads, not just this one. Don't just do the same thing we did in the 80s. I mean, these are literally all the exact same body as Sunman. At first I thought the boots were different, and then I looked closer, and there's the star from Sunman. Just the paint scheme's different. But it's okay to kind of, change it up a little bit. Make it some different features in the characters, instead of giving us the exact same figures with just different paint schemes and a new head and new armor. Now, I know originally that's what He-Man did too. We had 3 body types. We had the evil body type, which was used for Skeletor and Zodak and a bunch of other ones. And we had the beast body type that was used for Beast Man and Stratos and other ones. And then we had the He-Man heroic body type that was used for He-Man and Man-at-Arms. Well, of course, we also had the female body type that was used for Teela and Evil Lynn. I guess there was actually 4 body types. So, those were the main body types that kept reusing the parts on over and over and over again. We even saw it in the very last wave in the 1980s, we had Scareglow, which was Skeletor's body, and we had King Randor, that was He-Man's body, and we had Clampchamp, that was He-Man's body. So even at the very last bit, they still used a lot of the same body types, even though it was the last wave. Anyway. Sunman is like having Remco figures. Yes, there is a lot of similarities between Sunman and Remco. I remember one time this guy argued with me online years ago, and he's like, that Sunman, he's just Clampchamp with different armor. The guy even argued me because he was going on saying, I know what Clampchamp looks like, and that's the same exact. And I had a Sunman back in the day. I don't anymore, but you could tell the body was actually different. It was not the same as He-Man. It had smoother muscle designs on it. It was not quite as detailed. It didn't have the you can't see it here. I guess I got to pull his armor back off. Of course, maybe the new ones don't have it. Oh yeah, they have it. They didn't have all these cuts right here along the chest as much, and some other things like that too, where it was just not as defined with Sunman as it was with He-Man. So even though this guy swore up and down that someone just took a Clampchamp and modified it to create Sunman, you could see the molds were actually different and the builds were actually different. It was a different sculpt, but it was funny. I found it's best not to argue with people on the internet. It's just not worth the time. They're either going to discover on their own and say, oh yeah, that guy was right, or they're not. And it doesn't matter what you say, they are not going to believe you anyway. So let's see. I have a question. Vintage Sunman collection have only 10 figures. I think so. You know what? Let me go grab my iPad. You know what? Actually, you know what? I have a card back. I'll get that instead. Where did I stick my card? There it is. Here's my card back. And they had kind of a cool thing at schools where they would sell these at schools and stuff back in the day, and it was kind of an anti-drug message too at the same time. So action figures of different and that's why there's so many heroes in this line, because they didn't want to alienate any kids and say, well, yours is an enemy or yours is a bad guy. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. There was the line back in the day. There's the new Lollipop Man. Looking forward to getting Hypno. But you can see even back in the day, they all had the same boots, just like now. So I can see why they're doing that. And I suppose I could live with that, because it's kind of cool, I guess, for him. He had different boots. But you can even see, like, look at Sumo right here, and you can see he doesn't have those ripped chests at the top. You can see that body is actually a different sculpt than we got with the original He-Man. So in light of that, you could just see that the sculpt was actually a little different. Especially in Pigman, you can see it too, because he has more of his chest shown, where it didn't have all the rippedness of, all the pectoral muscles ripped apart individually. And the arms had some things too different, and so the legs. The legs were not like regular He-Man figures either. So there were just some things that were different. Obviously the boots are different. Nobody in the He-Man line had boots. And since the boots weren't removable, of course it was definitely not Clampchamp. Just, covered up in new armor. All right, let's look at your guys' comments. Oh, Pighead. Thank you so much. And I'm calling him Pigman over and over again. Pighead. I'm so used to the idea of Pig Boy. Wicked Enemy. Numerical Genius. Let's see. Let's say Telekinetic Ninja. What was he? Heroic Duplicator. That means you have to buy more than one. And then we have Hypno. Let's see. Psychic Hypnotist. Zap Man. Micro Laser Specialist. Expert Kickboxer. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, my Sunman used to have that head. My Sunman I had. And this guy, futuristic scientist. And that's funny. Wicked enemy. And that's pretty descriptive there. Anyway, so there you go. There, like I said, there's only one bad guy, and that is, of course, the drug dealer, Pig Head, not Pig Man. Yeah. Yep. See how crazy this is? Is in the schools, they wanted the kids to sell toys. Isn't that crazy? Can earn your school or organization can earn money selling toys. Thanks for your support. So they had it literally in the schools. It's kind of a cool idea. So y'all Easton had some great ideas from the Almac toys. And of course they were made in 85, so towards the end of the line. Cute little piggy. Anyway, it was pretty cool. And of course you guys have heard the Sunman rap. I mean, come on. If you don't know the Sunman rap by now, on my website you can see it all pretty clear. It's kind of funny. You can see the idea about the drugs in there. From the drugs of Pighead. So it was definitely to address the drug culture in the late 80s. And help kids. All right. It's like some people are leaving or something. I can't tell. Let's see. It's hard to read all your guys' comments on all these on a small screen. Weren't some of those figures unreleased? That's a good question. I heard some of them were. I don't know which ones were, which ones weren't. I don't know enough about Sunman to tell you which ones were, which ones weren't. I think I heard that he was never released, but I swear somebody online one time told me they had all of them, but I've never seen Zapman. I've seen lots of Pighead. I've seen lots of Sunman. I think I might have seen Boltman one time before. Let's see what it says about Boltman. I guess I didn't read his, did I? Molecular Regenerator. Wow. Yeah, I definitely want to collect them all. I might go back and try to rebuy them again and keep them carded. Just because it'd be kind of cool to have these 10 all carded after all these years, even though they aren't the original. But I guess, not that Mattel needs it, but I guess I'll give Mattel my blessing to go ahead and keep using the exact same bodies for all 9 Sunmen figures. Except for Pighead. Oh, his head. That's right. We're going to soak this guy in water, and we are going to tear off his head and get his armor off. So let's pull his bolts out first. Yeah, that head's pretty stuck on there. Oh, now I got water on my heat thing. I got to figure out a different system. This lid is just not working very well. So I keep dripping water and keep frying the circuits in here. Ugh. I just unplug it now so I don't shock myself later. You think they'd make something that's made to cook water or warm up coffee waterproof. Every time I drip water on it, goes deep and freaks out at me. You think they would have had sealed control panel on the thing. Okay, let's get his head off. Huh. And there's his armor. And there you go. Oh, it'd been really cool. Oh, if they would have got an old Sunman figure or two and actually made a new chest for him that was more smooth, just like the original toys back in the 80s. Where did I put my card art now? I already lost it. My wife always jokingly calls me her absent-minded professor because I lose stuff at the drop of a hat, and sure enough, I lost the card art I was just showing you guys. I was just going to pick it up and show you again, but I have no clue where I set it down at. Huh. It's gone. Oh, there it is. I found it. Yep, that'd been cool if they would have actually gone with the same smooth, different styling of body, so it was more reminiscent of the figures. So it would actually feel more like the Remco figures, because I think Remco had the same thing going on. I found Sunman for $10, not a bad deal. It has been 5 minutes, Todd. How? I don't know. Not sure why you were keeping track of 5 minutes. Ugh. All right. So there he is. My line's getting bigger. Now, hopefully, they will sell Sumo as a single and not just in that 3-pack. I am thinking about going back and finding that 3-pack anyway, just because it has the alternate Sunman head, the one with the flat top. And that's the one that I had, that I got years ago from eBay. So I might get that one just because of the flat top head. I know it's the same head as the Sumo guy. Is that what his name is? Yeah, Space Sumo. There he is. Whoop. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, we have that head there. And we have Space Sumo there. Is that the same head? I think it is. That's funny. So Space Sumo and this guy here, the expert kickboxer, Kickto, they have the same head. And that's the same head they used on Sunman at one time. Interesting. Is anybody else with the same head? Nope. Okay, he's got the V point, the top of his head. He's got the V point in the top of his head. I wonder if they have the same head. That's funny. Kicktail is now my favorite character in the Sunman line. Wow. Mike is giving out more figures. Boltman looks like Sylvester Stallone. I guess he kind of does. Yo, Adrian. Huh. That's funny. I don't, like I said, out of this the whole entire wave, this is the one I was most excited about opening on Chanel. So I know everyone would probably think it would be Snake Armor He-Man, but after I saw somebody's paint job on the lounge, I think it was Juan Soto's paint job. I can't remember. Now I'm disappointed. I thought that was how the figure looked with the dark armor here on the sides and everything else. How he painted it up really nice. So now I'm not even excited about opening this because Juan Soto showed me. I think it was you Juan, if you're here on here, how cool this figure could be if it was painted right. Yeah, that's it. I have to go grab my iPad so I can. Nah. You guys can go in the lounge and look for the figure picture yourself. It's a really cool paint job that was done. Looked more like the actual classics one. Anyway, I'll open Snake He-Man later at a different time. That's all I got. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. And James says, wish me luck on my custom Sunman display set. Oh yeah, I want to see that, man. Make sure you show us in the lounge. Pop actor, Big Bad Toy Store. They sent him to me. Boltman is about to go up against movie He-Man. Nice. Hercules Remco looks like Rocky. Adrian, yep. All right, you guys. Yeah, create a Rambo. And good journey. Bye now.